Hello everyone, this is Gail Burrell, the author. It is so good to be with you here today. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm here for another virtual book signing, and the book I'm using today out of my 4 is Rock Solid. This is the manual for a passionate marriage. And my subject today is how to get a partner and keep a partner. And a little bit about me again, if you weren't with me for Rock Solid Part 1. I have been married for over 41 years to Pastor Carlton Burrell, and we do have children and grandchildren, and we're both retired school teachers. So I just want to talk to you about getting a partner and keeping a partner on today. You know, this book is available for you at www.gailburrell.com. That's my website. It is also available on Gail Burrell Facebook and newvisionafa.com. That's the church website, and also New Vision Facebook. So there are a number of places you can go to obtain a copy of this book. You can get an electronic copy, or you can contact me from the information on my website and Facebook, and I will send you a hard copy. This is a book that you should have. Everyone that is old enough to be in a relationship, you should have this book. And this is a book also for people that are married and have been married a very long time. This stretches all across the relationships and marriages. Just good information, things that were inspired from the Lord, things that God gave me, also things that I have from my own experiential knowledge, being married over 41 years, and most importantly, the reason I even wrote the book, working with couples for over 30 years and having marriage retreats annually, but sitting face to face with couples and hearing the difficulties, hearing the successes, and understanding what works. So here I am with Rock Solid, and it's just a pleasure to have you with me. Now today, you know, we see so much on social media and the TV. You see those relationships where the housewives are pulling each other's hair out, and people are throwing things at each other, and it's just a very, I don't know, we're in a kind of culture of violence and also a culture of general disrespect. And if you want a healthy marriage and relationship, you have to work on it. But there are, even though, we have veered away from so many things, it is very possible to have a good relationship in this dark day. It's wonderful when you're a Christian. It's wonderful when you're in the Word of God, because there's always hope in there. There's always the sun shining from somewhere. God just, He will let you weep overnight, but in the morning the sun has to shine. And that's the one thing I love about following Christ. And it's a strength to any relationship. Shows you how to get along with people and how to manage a relationship. I think I'm going to read from page 44 of my book. And the chapter is chapter 10. It's called The Gifted and Twisted. Just the last paragraph there. It says, when fallen idols are in the public eye, people don't feel they have to be as good themselves. Often they will say things like, well, if that movie star couldn't stay married, or if that senator, or if that mayor, or if that pastor, or if that teacher, these are people that our society look up to sometimes, or had trouble, as beautiful as he or she is, the person that they married, how can anyone else's marriage survive? Come on. I mean, if the most beautiful people, so they say in Hollywood and in the movie realms, if they're getting divorced, is there any hope for us? So then they feel it's okay to divorce repeatedly or do a lot of other things. And I'm going to move away from this right now, and I'm going to talk to you. I want you to know that in marriage, you do have to respect one another. It's basic things that they don't do and they don't treasure anymore. It's just things of wisdom and knowledge that are in the Bible, and things that you learned early on as a young person on how to treat people. Some general rules that they're not following. And it's not rocket science. If you find a person that's willing to work with you, it's going to be a blessing. Now, for reference purposes, I want to go to the 2nd chapter of Genesis, and I'm going to tell you back to the very first relationship. And I love to do this because, this is how God meant for it to be. What did he do? Okay, he formed the first man. Formed the first man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. Okay, so important, a living soul. We're not just this body, but we have a soul. We have a spirit. And it's, our society, they cater to just what they see. But the most important thing is what's resting in a person's heart. What's in their mind. So God makes this man, and now he's a living soul. The Lord takes him to a garden that he has prepared for him so that he can work and till the garden. Because you know what? Think about it. Men have to work. And we have pulled people out of every role that the Lord has put them in, and then we don't know why we have havoc. Okay? So that man needs to work, sisters. He needs to work. He needs to be the man. And this is what the Lord did. He put him there tilling the garden, and then he began to have him naming all of the animals that he made, every beast of the field. He needs to be busy. And this is a God thing. God has formulated him in a certain way. And yes, he's cut the woman in another way. And they're both beautiful. So here we have man. And man is busy. But guess what? God looks on man and he's lonely. He has no companion. Animals and the fun things are okay. And then work is wonderful. But there's still a void in man. What's going on? He needs a helpmeet. This is what God says. So he did what no other can do. He anesthetized man. Yes, God, the anesthesiologist, put him out. Took that rib from him. Then he formed, whoa, man. This is the first woman. He formed her from the rib of a man. So they're going to be a lot alike, and they're going to have a lot in common. He formed that woman, and she was going to be the mother of all living. Motherhood, being a nurturer, this is how God fashioned the woman. And though women are trying to be hard and trying to go in a different direction, hey, this is how God cuts you. So you need to be in tune with who you are, and you need to be in tune with how you have been made. Now we move on to that relationship, and we think about what's going on today. If we get back to basics, everything is going to be okay. God made those people a living soul. So you can't give everything to the outside. And you know, this is important because people today, they're actually altering their look, and they're actually enhancing themselves with artificial things to make themselves feel more desirable. But my sister, listen. You need to get in touch with who God made you and understand that God hasn't made any mistakes. You are lovely, you are beautiful, and I know the media, and I know people with bad spirits will tell you all kinds of things, and they will pull the rug on your confidence and cause you to stumble. And then you will look for other things to fulfill yourself. But I'm telling you, you need to go back to the Word of God and go back to the Father of Spirits that fashioned you. He made you beautiful. And that man, there's no reason for him to doubt his masculinity. God did these things, and it is the way that he has formed us. Now, you think about when you're ready to get married, you're ready to have a partner, you're ready to have that soulmate, as people call it today. When you're choosing, you're going to have to follow some strict rules. You're going to have to be careful because a lot of people aren't. That's why we're having so much failure. That's why we have the overwhelming divorce statistics. It's because people are not listening. You have to listen to someone. And the information that you need to have in tow is you've got to know that person. You've got to know that person. A lot of people are walking into things blindly because they don't want to take their times. And we're living in a day where everything is like jet speed. But there are some things that will never change, my friend. And one of them is you've got to know who you're going to spend your time with. They have to have things in common with you. Just because you're both in church doesn't mean that's the perfect person for you, the first one that showed up. You have to get to know that person, and you're still going to have things in common. And most of all, that temperament. They have to be someone that you can talk to, someone that you can share with, and someone that you can work the problem out with. Because you will have problems. You will have problems. But that's just a part of the journey. It's okay to have problems. But you have to understand that if you can work together, if you can come to an understanding together, if you can go to counseling together, because sometimes, yes, this is very, very necessary. And I reiterate this again and again in the book, Rock Solid. Don't back up from consultation. Biblical consultation, premarital counseling, also post-marital counseling, very necessary, very necessary. We are living in a day where people are being sucked out of their natural roles. So they don't want men to think like men, and they don't want women to think like women. But I want you to know you do have to stay in the mindset of who you are. Yes, woman, you need to think like a woman because a woman has more vulnerabilities. And you do need to protect yourself out there while you are dating. Dating is the greatest opportunity to meet that special person. You can't just stay in your corner. I know you know this. You have to go different places. You have to go to different venues, and you have to meet people. I'm talking about how to get a partner. Because your church may be small, or your area, I don't know, your community. You might have to travel sometimes and just get to know people. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. The internet, I would not recommend that. You need to talk to people that are honest enough to face you. There's a lot of deception going on out there right now. And it's not really that safe, to meet someone over the internet exclusively, where they are just showing you pictures. Everyone knows that what those pictures could be. Everyone knows what they're reporting themselves can be. But if you're working with leaders, pastors, they're able to tell you something about that person. And then if you're mingling with their families and friends, which you must, then you're going to find out something about them. We're living in a day where over 80 billion people tune in to porn sites. And it's a very bad day because they have opened this up for children. You need to watch your children. You would not believe what is at their fingertips. This is nothing but the working of Satan. And he has brought this into relationships, and it makes it even more difficult for people because now people are looking for something that's not even real. They're looking for animated situations, and they're looking for things that have been drummed up for spectacle. And it's not even real. It's just a total farce. That makes it difficult for relationships, for marriages, because people have false expectations. Those things are going to lead to a lot of sorrow and a lot of depression. If you get involved in them, they're very habit forming. And they're also just bring you down to the level, another level where sex is not, it's not in a loving relationship, a marriage relationship. But it's just something you're hitting and going at. And once you are addicted to porn, you are sexually charged all day and all night. And this is very destructive to anybody. Now, some people have problems and they use sexual toys. But if you're using sexual toys just to be using sexual toys, married people, then you need to wean yourself out of that. Because that's going to strain your relationship. It's going to wear out, and it's going to become something that is just another hindrance. There's so many things going on, and I'm trying to hit and miss very quickly in this presentation. But I want you to know that if you turn around, just turn from a lot of the things that the world is offering. There are just so many bad books out there, bad information out there, and things that actually destroy and are counterproductive to a good, strong marriage. What you need to do is, I'm telling you, find yourself back to church, because prayer is going to work for a relationship. Prayer is going to work for marriage. God is involved. He's the threefold cord. Yes, God is involved. And when you marry, the Lord is working with you. Because it's an honorable thing to God. God formed marriage. God instituted marriage. So he's going to work with you. And a lot of problems that people are having out there, in secular venues, you're not going to have that problem. You're not going to have those problems. You're going to have a very small margin of problems compared to the average Joe if you follow Christ. because he's going to bless you. And he's going to take you to a level of the soul. You're not going to just be in a relationship that's based on looks and based on the eye, optical illusions. You're going to be in a relationship that goes way down in the soul and deals with the heart and the mind. And this is going to sustain you and help you to hold on in the storms. And people are not going to know what's holding you, but it's going to be the hand of God. God bless you. It has been such a pleasure to talk to you. I just want to talk about that woman again. Understand, women, that your body is a temple, because people are abusing women as never before today. They abuse men also. But that woman, again, she has more vulnerabilities. And I want to speak to you about that. Your body is a temple. Your body is what God gave you, and it is to be honored. Don't let men trample all over you. Go forward, reverse, hit the brakes and skid all over you. Don't let them chew you up and spit you out. Because when you're walking in this vein and you're just showing them everything and you're doing everything, they're not going to respect you. No, they're not going to respect you. So you're not going to get a quality person that way. To get a quality person, you're going to have to keep your treasures to yourself and understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you're already beautiful. And if you're talking to someone that can't see your beauty and see your value, why would you strip down for them? Why would you just give them all of your treasure? They don't deserve any of that. What you need to do is just turn it all around. This is what I love about God. And though you were doing the things incorrectly, the moment you decide to do something else, God is with you. He's with you right in the moment. Well, people may hang things over your head, and they might try to, ruffle your feathers. But guess what? They're not God. They need to worry about their own relationship. Today, your relationship can be a whole nother situation when you value you. When you understand your worth, and yes, you are beautiful, and yes, you are gorgeous. And that man, you are strong, and you count. You are very important in this day. People are devaluing people, and they're devaluing institutions, and we have a culture of disrespect. But brush that off, my friend, because the moment God reveals his word to you, this is when you can take heed and change your ways. And when you decide that you're worth more than what someone is giving you that's inferior, this is when God is going to take you to another level. This is Rock Solid, a manual for a passionate marriage. God bless you today. May you have a very good life.